Hello viewers. So I'm back with my new video, City Planning in Classical Civilizations for Grade 5 UASST. We have the learning objectives to analyze the importance of design and planning when building a city, to elucidate the need for emblematic buildings for a city, to identify services a city needs to provide for its people. The UAE link. UAE is well-planned country with all her cities well designed. Example, the school area, industrial area, commercial centers and so on. They are all designated exclusively for that purpose. Let's see the CC link, architecture. The planning for buildings and city planning requires knowledge of architecture. The topic deals with city planning, buildings, etc. So it has to get co-curricular linked with architecture. So here we have the examples of some emblematic buildings. You can see for yourself and the names of the buildings with the places where they belong to has been mentioned. There are some pictures given in your textbook too with regards to emblematic buildings. You have to write down the name of that emblematic building with the place where they are in. So before I proceed with my video, just a humble request. Please subscribe to my channel Learn SST if you haven't subscribed as yet. Press the bell icon for my latest videos. Give me a thumbs up and please do share it with your friends and relatives. So here we have the introduction. What you can see in the picture is the grid, and this is the grid of Abu Dhabi. So this is the entire Emirate of Abu Dhabi, and you can see how well the city has been planned, the Emirate has been planned. So modern cities follow some type of design grid. The roads are lined up and public areas are in central areas. That means they are in the prime locations so that it becomes easy for the people to move into that area. There are waste management centers and other services area. Many cities have parks and shopping centers. So I think you should agree to all these amenities which has been mentioned in your textbook. So let us see the grid designs now and then. That means in present times and in past. In the ancient period, cities were starting to be organized. The grid designs of some ancient cities from over 2000 years were similar to the grid designs of cities today. That means whatever grid designs we have picked up from these people. For example, ancient cities in Indus Valley in Pakistan and Teotihuacan in Mexico had central plaza areas and paved roads running in straight lines from the central to outer areas of the city. That means that all those important public places were well connected with paved roads and they were running straight. That means that the roads were meeting with each other at right angles. What a city planning. And then moving out to the outer areas of the city. So if you want to come from any other region to this region of Indus Valley, this city had very good connected roads to the public places. In the classical period, as populations increased and cities grew in size, planning a city became even more important. Now, what you can see over here, I have just put up one picture of this Indus Valley town planning, which you can see it. And by this, you can understand that in modern times also, the cities follow this grid pattern. They have given you index over here, a small little key for you to understand where the different important things were placed. Like, take for example, A is the castle. Where it is put up in the grid, you can see it for yourself. Those are the big citadels which were built for the important personalities of that time. Then comes the middle town, which is the sea section. You can see over here a huge big area, the sea area. So that was the middle town. Then comes D. You can also have a look at the D area. So this was the lower town. That means the neighborhoods were divided according to the income of the people. The A was for the rich, B1 was A and B was for the rich people, C for the middle class, whereas D for the poor. Then E was the ceremonial ground wherein all the ceremonies and the events took place, and F was the reservoir. Reservoir, the place where the water was stored, and it was connected to the dam. The dam always has a reservoir, as you have learned in geography. Then at the outside of the city, on the left side, you can see the cemetery. So, in this manner, the city was well planned, roads running straight, meeting at the right angles, that is at 90 degrees. That means the cities were so well planned during those days. Pericles and the Parthenon. Pericles was a famous leader of Athens who lived from 495 to 425 BCE, that is before the birth of Christ. You might be wondering, why are the numbers in a descending order? It should be in an ascending order. But let me tell you, before the birth of Christ, all those dates which we follow is in the descending order, not in the ascending order. After the birth of Christ, from 0 to 2021, we are in the ascending order. He wanted to make Athens the most powerful city in Greece. He wanted great buildings so that people could see how important Athens was. Parthenon was one of these buildings, which you can see on the cliff over here in the picture. At that time, different cities in Greece were often at war with each other. So Pericles decided to build a high city, or Acropolis in other words. Acropolis on a high cliff near the sea, so that any ships coming to Athens could be seen by lookouts and people could be warned if an enemy was approaching. Acropolis in Greece. The Acropolis had several buildings, with the largest one being the Parthenon. Large pieces of stone were brought from 10 kilometers away. The building was done carefully, so the shaped stones fitted together in columns. That means they made the columns or the pillars very, very sturdy. These metal fasteners inside the columns provided strength and flexibility for the columns or pillars even during earthquakes, which were common in Greece. The Parthians had a wooden roof and carved painted artwork inside and outside. This shows how much they loved the artwork. They were so artistic. It had different uses, like to impress foreign visitors, to keep cities' money and wealth in the Parthenian. So these were the uses of the building Parthenian. It was a strong building, hence, even today, over 2500 years later, a lot of it is still standing. We have the city of Rome and how well it was planned. All this while we just did about Greece, so now we are turning our attention towards the Romans. Imagine living in a city of 1 million people. What does a city of this size need? This was the problem the city of Rome had 2000 years ago. Planning a city was very important. In the center of the city was the forum. Now, what exactly was a forum? A forum was a large open area with important buildings around it. There would be the basilica, that is the law court, and a building for town meetings. The markets were usually around the forum area where people could buy their food. Now, let us see the important buildings of the Romans. Romans wanted to enjoy themselves. The Romans had different buildings with activities to keep people happy. There were amphitheaters for plays and sports competitions. An amphitheater was an outdoor stadium, example, the Colosseum in Rome. So the picture on the top is about Colosseum. At Colosseum, people could watch competitions and fights. There were smaller outside tracks with sitting arrangements called the circuses. Circus means circle because the track had circular or oval shape. So the picture below is about the circus. People watched chariot racing at circuses. The city had places to shop, meet, get water, and have fun. So these were the amenities which were available for the people to enjoy themselves at the same time to meet their daily requirements. Here comes activity 1, very much from your textbook. Please check the answers. Activity 2, we need to draw certain conclusions between the old city of Rome and the modern cities. Then comes the differentiation between the Parthenian and the modern building. I have taken into consideration Burj Khalifa and I have compared and contrasted it with Parthenian. Then comes the domus and insula. Now, there is a small little passage which has been given on before the activity 4, and it's like a comprehension. Based on that, they have put up this activity. So, please go through. It's a very simple activity. You just need to read down the passage, and after reading the passage, you just need to write down a note on domus and insula. Just for your quick understanding, a domus was a dwelling of the rich, whereas the insula was how we have the flats and the apartments nowadays. So it was the flats and the apartments for the poor people in those days. So here comes activity 5, in which they have asked us to pick up any one out of 4 to 5 of the architecture, and I have selected Mughal architecture and I have given you the details of it. Also, I have given you the name of the famous building with the salient features of that building, which you can see below. That is Taj Mahal. So you can pick up any of the architecture like the Japanese, the Ottoman architecture, the Islamic, etc. and you can write on it. Here comes activity 1, very much from your textbook. Please check the answers. Here I come to the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have really liked my video, then please give me a thumbs up. Press the bell icon for my latest videos. And please, if you haven't subscribed as yet, then do subscribe. Keep watching my channel, Learn SST. See you next time. Till then, bye bye.